Hey everybody, started a new build today and got a lot further than I expected. It's kind of a basic kit. It is the Revell competition Porsche with racing trim. That's, well, yeah, that ain't gonna work. So this is the one I believe came out in the 60s. This one here, this kit actually came from 96. And the tool was kind of rough because it's probably been pretty old. Right here, and then the door handle and then straight across, that was a separate piece, that piece right there. So most of the work I spent was filling in that seam. I used this filler, Squadron Products green putty. I need to get some of this in white. I think it works the same. I tried the Tamiya white putty. I don't know if any of you guys have any luck with this. This stuff's junk in my opinion. I can't sand it. It don't want to sand, so I'm probably doing something wrong. Tamiya usually don't come out with junk. And then I also had, so I still had problems. It still was, you know, coating it and putting primer on it, coating it. It still was super weak. So then what I ended up doing was doing the baking soda with super glue. But before that, let me go back a step. When I glued the two pieces together, I backed it up with a thin piece of styrene. That way I had something to bond both halves to, because there was no way in the world that would have worked. But after that, then all the sanding and all that, but I think I got it to where I want it. Then I did the baking soda with super glue, and it makes like a filler, as you can see right there. There it is where it's not sanded. So I actually just backed that up. It actually made a nice strong bond. So if you guys don't know about that trick, give it a shot. This side I didn't do. This side seems stronger. I probably should have backed that up with that anyhow. But you can still somewhat see the seam. I haven't wet sanded this yet. All that sanding kind of goofed up my door handle a little bit. And let's go on this side. You can see it right there. It comes up and comes across. But at a distance you can't really, especially on focus, but at a distance you really can't see it. I'm still going to do a wet sand, and then I'll do the color. But then I also had the lower body piece here. You can see it on the inside. Get the light to work. There you can see it right there on the inside. I made it so you can't see it on the outside. Just a little bit there. I'm hoping wet sanding will get that out of there. And then the front piece. These are where lights, turn markers actually go. Do a little wet sand on that. The hood fits alright. This is the trunk lid. It's a rear engine car. Kind of like a Volkswagen. Germans liked those rear end cars back in the day. That's what it looks like there. There's a chrome piece that goes there. The trunk fell somewhere. I think I got it in the box. So I can't really show you that, or the engine cover, the hood. This is where I'm at so far on this. Pretty much got everything on the rear done. The tires are glued on. These tires are not. Did some weathering. I'm going to do another wash on the exhaust. There is the engine. Not much to it. There's the wheels. Did a wash on the silver, and then I did highlighted the bolts, the center bolt there, and the lugs. I did that for all four. Now on the back, these wheels wanted to stick out, so I had to drill that center hole much larger and push it in further because they're sticking way past the body. That looked awful. Now for the front, I had to cut all that out, and I'm actually putting it over, I guess, that piece there because they were way too far out. And before I call it a night, I am going to try to glue the steering mechanism on. I gotta glue a piece in here that then glues inside of that, and the whole thing's been kind of a pain. So for the gas tank, I went with a gloss black and did a nice flat color for the trunk area. A battery's supposed to go here, and did some silver highlights. For the interior, I did a silver floor because it is going to be a race car, so I figured that would have been some kind of tin down there. You got the gas and brake pedal and clutch pedal. This piece, I don't know what this is. Maybe it's the choke. Well, I don't know. It goes up and underneath into that area. So if it would have went to the back, I would say it's a choke, but maybe it's a choke. I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of vent, or I never had the money to mess with a Porsche in this style, so, or a Porsche any style, so who the hell knows. It went together not too bad so far. It's an old kit, so I mean, you can fight out the details if you want. I'm going to try to make the body look as good as possible, and the rest I'm going to just kind of get it to look good. But it's not a kit that I'm willing to spend an absolute ton of time, because there's a lot of details that's cut out of it. This one, it does have a tonneau cover on it, and they pretty much force you to glue that tonneau cover in place and use it. Most of these cars, the race ones, are silver. I have seen very few pictures of them as like a very light teal silver, where it's almost all silver. There's a little bit of teal color. I want to do a little different, so I'm going to do a color kind of, I think it's the same color as I did my Sunbeam Tiger. It is that very light baby blue metallic. So I'm going to do this into that car. I think it's going to look really cool. It won't be 100% accurate, but you know, oh well. I don't try to be accurate. And so since I am doing that color, I still got to paint the interior, but one piece I did paint was a tonneau cover. I have to weather that a little bit so it ain't just a straight up brown, but I think that baby blue will look really good with a tan interior. We'll see if I have to strip this. and make it like a black, it should be fine. Oh, we have to strip one piece. It's not a ton of detail, but it's not so bad. One thing I wanted to ask everybody out there, I bought a kit used, which I shouldn't have done. You get in them ruts, you get used to it. But as a kit I've been looking for a very long time. And there it is. And you know, you see those ones. I got it cheap enough, so I ain't really too worried about it. But you get them, you know, online and stuff. It's decent price. So I snatched it up. And then the other day I was looking at it because I was thinking about building it. And of course I got set back. I was looking in the body. Just gonna get all the body pieces out. And then I think it goes into not that sprue, but there's no hood in it. All the rest of the pieces are in there except for a hood. So I don't know if the person who had this kit before stole the hood for something else, but don't have a hood. Now I do have the Hot Wheels version of this kit. I did want to see if that hood fits this. It's supposed to be the same mold. But now that I look at it, that don't fit at all. So, kind of curious what the hell the difference would be with that Camaro versus this Camaro, because that does not fit at all. So there's one more version of this car out there that I wanted to get. That was the Rain-X version, and I did find one. It should be here relatively soon. There's the bottom, yeah. So those two pieces fit. Man, was it? If anybody's built this, does that thing get spread out some? That's awful far away to get spread out. All right, look at that. Maybe it gets like that with the roll cage and everything. Well, anyhow, say if this hood fits. Now I'm stuck with the assumption that I'm going to have to make a mold and a resin cast and all that just for one stinking hood. Because there's no way in hell Revell is going to still issue missing pieces for these. These are probably from back in 90s. Let me look at the box and see. '97. I don't think these things have been made since then, repopped since. Can anybody suggest what I should do? Should I just buy another kit and throw half of it away to finish one of them. Scratch this one. I mean, that's, if I'm lucky, 25 bucks to 30 bucks to find one, and just eat the loss. Should I spend 25 to 30 bucks molding one? Because I doubt anybody's got one of these to sell. So give me you guys' ideas. You guys, as a community, have more experience than me on my own, so maybe I can get some help from you guys. Another thing on my projects, let's just see this glorious mess over here. It looks like hell went and hit my garage, and it kind of did. I took my garage and took all the pieces out because I'm actually adding on to the garage itself. This is one of them dioramas that just sit in the background and don't do nothing. But what I got a piece of styrene. I gotta paint that one of these days and glue it to the front. And then I do have my roof section that I made that you guys seen, that I'm going to put LEDs in there, make shop lights and such. So I got that. And the other day, while I was out in the store, I saw the Christmas villages, and I always look at that stuff because the people are about, little figure guys, they're about 1/24 scale. So I thought, well, maybe there'd be something that I can put into a diorama or something like that. And they have brick rubber vinyl mats that you can put down on it, and they have bricks that look pretty much the right scale. So on the outside, I'm going to put that vinyl brick on all three outside walls, and then with that alley diorama, I'll have that on the side here, and then over by the front door, because the alley diorama is longer than this, I will have like a parking lot area. Maybe I'll extend a roof out, and so by doing that will give me 3 scenes that I can take pictures of my cars with. I'll have the inside of the shop, the front of the shop, and the alleyway. And then also looking through windows like this, there will actually be a scene out there, and there will be a scene out the front door. And what that will create is, you know, plenty of opportunities to take pictures of. I've done it in the past. It looks really cool, makes them look real. But I like to get a bigger base. The alley diorama, I do have a couple LEDs in there, but the problem is I have to hook it all up. If I had it all hooked up to, you know, this building and then the alley and all that, I could have a battery box somewhere with a switch and make that so much easier. I'll just flip the switch and actually just be done with it and have it more of a permanent setup. So, little look into the future. So this is probably gonna be my last video until Thanksgiving. So I wish everybody to have a happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you guys can be safe and see everybody's family and everything. Times are crazy, but you know, the way things are. So I do hope for the best. Everything can happen. And until next time, guys, I'll see you then. Bye.